She did everything right. You did everything right, Teri.
Is it too early for wine?
Oh my gosh. We're gonna have to crack open a bottle for sure. I mean, you're so brave to tell your story here with us today. The fertility treatment, the potential adoption, and there's more, okay? There's more to the story, because after the adoption fell through, you went with a potential egg donor. How did that end?
3 days before my transfer, the clinic that we were using was shut down by the RCMP.
This is an emotional journey that I think most of us, we look at it, we feel it for you, but there's so many different things going through your mind and our mind right now, and I'm sure that people have tried to give you words of support and help you through it, and maybe have missed the mark from time to time, because how do people help you through this, and what have you heard that has been actually really unhelpful for you?
You just need to go on vacation. Sand doesn't make you pregnant. It really doesn't. That was one that always just, I never understood that. When you're spending thousands of dollars, a vacation is not going to do it. You know, there is this idea out there that if you just stick with it long enough, if you just try a different drug, if you just, you know, put your legs over your head after you have sex, that you're going
it's all
going to work. And
yeah.
I think that that's the thing when you do offer up your story to somebody, is that it's not about giving the person solutions. When you're in fertility treatment, you know exactly what your body is doing every single day. You are going for ultrasounds and blood work every single day to know what your body's doing. So you don't need any ideas from your coworker at the office. Medically, you're covered. Maybe you just need, you know, a nice arm on your shoulder. Maybe you just need, you know, somebody to make a joke, somebody to get your mind off of the omnipresent emotional roller coaster that you're on. Yeah. You know, I've had friends and we would just say, I don't have words. There's no words. And sometimes there aren't words for it. It's sad, you know?
People are looking at you right now and saying, my goodness, she's stunning. Look at that gorgeous mascara and that eyeshadow and that lipstick and that bronzer. So we all know Cityline Real, we come here barefaced because we like to strip back. Today we said you take all the mascara.
I got it all.
All the mascara. All of it. Okay? Because there are people in your life that don't even know this story. I mean, people that you go way back with, and there's a reason why.
Yeah, my husband and I were really private about the whole journey. We really, especially when we got to the point of an egg donor and our decision around not telling anybody, my parents know now, my mom's not surprised at this now, or my dad, but we felt very strongly that that was that child's biology. And we didn't want our friends and our family to know about that child's biology before he or she did. And so we just made the decision that we weren't going to tell anybody, that I was hopefully going to get pregnant, and it would seem like miracle, and which it would have been.
Yes.
And then when it didn't work out, when that was no longer an opportunity for us, and we did tell people, everybody was playing a really unfortunate game of emotional catch-up with us. Yeah. And our disappointment. And I think that that was a very difficult experience for us amongst our closest family and friends, because we were so devastated and we'd lost so much, and they didn't know about it. And then when we finally did, we were at a different side of it. So you were really operating emotionally on different fields in a lot of ways. And that was one of the most difficult things for us. We were very private about it. And then when we did share it, it was challenging.
Did all of your friendships survive?
No.
No. Some of them had to be sacrificed, let go?
Yeah. Some friends, I mean, for the most part, when you're going through this journey, most of your friends are going through the journey too. And all of my friends who wanted kids have kids, luckily, and they're all beautiful. And I love all of my friends' kids. You saw a couple pictures in that pack of them. But sometimes people can say hurtful things that you can't forget.
Yeah.
And I don't blame those people now. I just know that those were things that I was never going to forget in my life. And I couldn't trust those people with my most intimate details. And that's what friendships are about. So, no, all my friendships didn't survive.
There are so many things that people say and they're not thinking like, hey, do you have kids? How come you haven't, how come you're not having kids yet? Oh, you don't have kids. Oh, you can't have kids. Well, at least you don't have to clean up the mess of kids.
Oh, you're lucky.
You're so lucky. You don't want to hear that.
No, that's not what I've ever wanted to hear. And it's interesting, you know, that simple question, and we ask people that question all the time, especially to women. Oh, do you have kids? It's usually question number one or question number two. Are you married? Do you have kids? What do you do for a living?
Yeah.
And for a long time, I never felt that the answer no was respectful enough to my situation. So I would say for a while, that's a journey that didn't work out for me. And I felt that that made it clear that we aren't going to continue this conversation, and maybe you should think twice before you ask that. I mean, it's kind of understood now that you can't ask a woman if she's pregnant unless you like see a baby coming from her vagina. Like that's that's it. Then you know.
Right.
And I kind of feel like asking about if you're a mom or do you have kids. We need to be better as a society. We need to understand that. I mean, it's an epidemic.
Yeah.
Infertility is an epidemic. And yes, there are many more options out there. And this is a long time ago for me. My journey ended about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
But there are so many people that are going through this. The drugs, the finances, the time, the emotion. It is all encompassing. Places of business need to understand it differently. Families need to understand it differently. Friends need to understand it differently. We need to start talking about how we're dealing with this for every aspect of a woman's life, because when you're in it, Trace, it's the only thing that is happening to you.
We have to change the discourse so that it's a more understanding and supportive discourse, because you're right, this is happening all around us. It is so prevalent. What I want to know is, you're such a bright light. And after going through 6 years of this and spending all the money and going through all the hormonal treatments, how are you like this? How did you survive this? And you're happy and brilliant and intelligent and doing amazing things in the world. What did you use as a tool to get through it?
This isn't the only aspect of my life. And yeah, I'll live with the sadness and disappointment, and that's a part of that. But I also have a really brilliant life. I have a fun life. I have a wonderful family. I have a husband who is beyond supportive with me in all of this. And it's not going to be the only thing that defines me. This is the first time I've talked about it publicly.
Yeah.
That's why, you know, little Teri. Even after all these years, a little Teri. But it's not the only aspect to my life, just like you being a mom isn't the only aspect to you. You know, we live in a culture right now that's so mummy-centric, that's so, and to not be part of that club when you wanted to be part of that club is a challenge. But I know a lot of moms. I mean, we just heard Catherine Reitman say, you know, they weren't going to steal everything from me. I was still going to be cool. And I think that now this is the conversation. Being a mom isn't the only thing that defines you. Not being a mom isn't the only thing that defines me. And really what defines us is just being good human beings to each other.
So brave, and that story is affecting hundreds of thousands of women and men out there right now going through this journey. So please give it up for Teri Hart.